Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. I'm Tundra Abiola.
Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Veronica Deca. Joining us now is 21-year-old Uche Eke, a United States-based Nigerian gymnast who was a member of Team USA to the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. He's a final year student of University of Michigan. Uche has taken the decision to transfer his allegiance to his fatherland, Nigeria. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Uche. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
First of all, what informed your decision to transfer your allegiance from the United States to Nigeria?
So I've been coming to Nigeria every year, twice a year since I was born, or like 3 years old. That's the first time I remember being here. And every time like I wake up in the morning, like my dad always inspires me, gives me all these speeches about Nigeria, how great it is. So I just want to come and represent my home country.
That's amazing.
And so when you make a decision, such a big decision like this, what is the process? What happens next? Because if you've been representing Team USA like you did in Tokyo, like what happens? How do you then start working with Team Nigeria?
So I'm on the University of Michigan gymnastics team.
Yes.
And there I compete like Big Tens and NCAAs.
Yes.
It's not that big of a deal for me to start representing Nigeria. Like I represented Nigeria at the competition in South Africa last summer, and that went pretty great. But yeah, it's not a big deal whatsoever.
How did you apply to join the Nigerian team, and were you welcomed with open arms? Because I'm sure you know about Anthony Joshua. When he tried to join the Nigerian team in 2008, he was rejected. He tried to contest under the Nigerian banner, and he was rejected. How did you find your experience?
So I've been talking to, my dad has connections, good connections out here, and we went and met the head of the Olympic Committee.
Yes.
And then from there, conversations led us to me being able to represent the country, met Coach Tony and Prince, and they are like very good people who've inspired me and gave me the opportunity.
So I want to talk a bit more about the training process and what you undergo to get to this level, to be able to compete. What is that like? And I know you have to have some level of discipline, and how are you shaped by that? And what is the process like?
Okay, so the competition process, it's very, very fun. Can be scary at times because there's all this pressure on you. Everyone expecting great things from you, and you can fall all the time. That always happens. Everyone has been through that. But mainly, it's just a fun experience. You just go out there and give it the best you got.
And what is your best? When you say your best, what is in your performance? What is your favorite?
I like the pommel horse, and I also like the horizontal bar and parallel bars. Those are my three best events. My favorite one out of all of those would be probably the high bar, even though it's the scariest.
Yes, I can imagine. So I have a 7-year-old, this is really interesting, who is amazed with gymnastics. This is the most interesting thing. He loves gymnastics, and I feel, maybe it's something that he's going to outgrow, but he doesn't seem to outgrow it. In fact, he seems to YouTube it a lot more. So I want to know, from an early age, when did you become fascinated with gymnastics, and when did you start to realize that this might be the way forward for a career?
So I started gymnastics at the age of 4, and it all was because, so I learned my first backflip when I was 3, believe it or not. So my best friend, Kevin, we were just jumping on a trampoline, and he's a pretty crazy kid, and I saw him do flips, so I always wanted to do it. But then I took it to the next level and tried to do a backflip by myself off of my couch.
Wow.
And then I started landing on my head. And,
Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
these injuries, yes.
and my parents kept complaining. They were like, stop, stop, stop. And then my mom realized that I wouldn't stop, so she put me in the gymnastics program.
But where do you actually train? Where's your training conducted?
So I train at the University of Michigan. It's a #1 public school in America, and yeah, it's a Big Ten school. So
a Big Ten.
So like after classes, we go and practice for about 4 hours, and then also in the morning.
Yeah.
So Nigeria does not provide your training? you do that in America. What support does the Nigerian team provide for you?
Support so far, just from like allowing me to travel and go to competitions.
And representing us there.
Yeah.
Tell us about South Africa. Congratulations on your medal.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Tell
Thank
us
you.
all about that. What was that experience like for you?
So that was a great experience. That was my first time in Pretoria. So like I met my dad and my uncle there, and we just stayed together, and my coach Tony out there, and got the chance to perform, and also was able to train with their South African national team. So that was really interesting.
Your dad is a recurring decimal in this whole conversation. So tell us how your father inspired you, obviously inspired this patriotism, because you would not have it if he did not instill it in you, and how he supports you and the rest of your family.
So yeah, like every day, like my dad is really a schools guy. Make sure you get your schoolwork done.
Yeah, because you do have to have good grades in order to compete in university, right? In the
Yep.
States, yeah.
And that's how I had to have good grades in order to get into the university
Exactly,
also.
yeah.
And I'm studying computer science engineering.
Impressive.
So like, that's what my dad's encouraging me to like make sure you stay hard in school.
Yes.
And like school is the most important thing. And so yeah, my mom's take me to practice all the time. Like every day she would take me to practice. My dad would just be focusing on the school part. And then now, since I've reached this level, my dad
Yes.
is very optimistic and was like, wow, we see an opportunity for you to represent Nigeria. So
So your parents took it all the way. What would you say to parents who are watching this and have precocious children doing backflips
Such as
off their
myself,
sofas?
such as myself and my 7-year-old who
What would,
literally.
yes, what would you say to parents
Is
to
doing
sort of
flips off their-
identify whether there's a real talent there or it's just a child being
Yes.
a child, and what to do once you identify the talent?
well, if it's child's will always be child's. Like I know it took a little bit before they identified that I was very serious. I say it comes once you're in high school, around 15 years old. If you see your kid is going towards it, like not even wanting to miss practice when he feels sick. Like I used to cry and sob about not being able to go to practice. And like I'd rather miss school than miss practice.
Oh, wow.
So like when you see those signs like that, that's when you know this your kid is very dedicated and wanting to go. And especially if they make it to the collegiate level, then you gotta ride with them all the way to the top.
I want to ask you, what do you hope that your legacy in sports will be?
I just want to leave a motivation. I want everyone to know that, like, look at me as an example by someone who's chasing their dreams, and by God's grace, if it's all successful, I want to be that representation that you can do it if you really put your mind to it.
I like that. Thank you so very much
Thank
for coming on.
you. It was
It's been
such a pleasure to meet you.
And we
Thank
wish you all the very best as you continue on this journey of success. We know that this is not the end.
Yep, this is not the end.
Thank you.
Thank you.